So it's official. Manglobe has in fact declared bankruptcy, and that this news just like it's sad for me because this is a studio that I've loved for years and that have released so many quality anime, a handful of which are some of my favorites of all time. And to see that the company, has struggled this much financially, even though they've made such quality works and that their sales haven't been up to snuff, and ultimately they've declared bankruptcy. You have lots of employees from Manglobe searching for new employment now, and I wish them all the best, and hopefully, this bankruptcy isn't the end for Manglobe overall. Hopefully, whether there's a resurgence and, a lot of the employees from Manglobe come together and, form a new studio, or, we see somewhere down the line a couple of years from now, Manglobe try and recover from this bankruptcy and try and bounce back. It's not common that studios or companies in general really bounce back after declaring bankruptcy and actually continue to go in. But I hope in some capacity we see the talent from Manglobe Studio, have a resurgence, have a concentrated resurgence, whether it's in a new studio or, just at least hopefully, a lot of the talent from Manglobe gets picked up by various studios and we see the spirit of the studio live on, because one of my favorite anime of all time was made by this studio, and that's Samurai Champloo, okay? And not only that, from ERGO PROXY, you guys know I watched that earlier this year and I fell utterly in love with it, to, Kami no Mizo Shiro Sekai, The World God Only Knows, one of my top 5 series that I've reviewed on this channel for me personally to review, and it's just a series I love dearly. They've done Dead Man Wonderland, Sengoku Basara adaptation, Hayate the Combat Butler, The Unlimited Hyobu Kyosuke, fucking House of Five Leaves anime, dude. They've went in. They have a lot of impressive works, and even more recently, GANGSTA. And I don't know what this means for GANGSTA Season 2. We can assume that most likely we're not going to see GANGSTA Season 2, and if we do, it's not going to be Manglobe that is producing it. I could see that, potentially Manglobe giving the rights for the adaptation of GANGSTA and seeing Season 2 handled by another studio with just, a lot of the same talent coming on board. Maybe they get the same director, they got Tsuchiya on the soundtrack and everything like that, and it feels like the spirit of GANGSTA is preserved in that way. But it was such a damn good adaptation. I really loved it, but obviously with this bankruptcy, it means that the sales of such quality anime such as these were not up to par in, across the world and in Japan in particular, and the studio is now banned. It's sad to see this, man. It really is sad. It speaks to the conditions of the anime industry at this point. And my last question, though, is I know they've been developing this film, Genocidal Organ, that people have been hyping up and saying it's going to be fucking awesome, and I had faith in it as well. I wanted to check it out. So it was supposed to drop this fall. It was supposed to drop in theaters this fall, in Japanese theaters, so we weren't going to get it now anyway. But I'm wondering, were they done with the production? Can they still release that now? I mean, the Manglobe website is down, but bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean that they can't do anything, but it does mean that they need to be bailed out, that they have no funds readily available. So if the production is done with the film, I could still see them being able to have the capital to release the film at the very least and try and get some kickback for that, get some individuals paid, because it sucks the company just out of the blue, from what we've heard from certain Twitter posts from certain employees from Manglobe and everything like that, you just automatically just done. You don't have a job anymore, and it's fucking, it sucks, dude. And I feel so bad for them. I feel bad for the studio as a whole, and just the feels I'm getting knowing that the studio that made such iconic anime for me, that made a couple of my favorites of all time, is no longer really truly in existence. It's a sad day. So I had to make this video and talk about it. I hope that the film still comes out and maybe that can, do a little something as far as that goes. And maybe we'll see, it's not uncommon for studios in the past that break up in some way, shape, or form to have, a bunch of individuals from said studio congregate together and found a new studio or something of that nature. And it's also not uncommon for a company in general to bounce back from bankruptcy, but it's not, it is more rare than a new studio being founded. It's not something that I would pin my hopes on, and it's a sad day. So let me know your thoughts on this news. I had to talk about it, and I'm out. Peace.